When fertility challenges come up, the conversation often focuses on age or jumps straight to treatment. But fertility is more complex than that. In this video, we'll walk through some commonly overlooked factors, from ovulation and hormones to stress, nutrition, and cycle health. One of the most important things to understand is that pregnancy depends on ovulation. Ovulation is when the ovary releases an egg, creating a short window for fertilization. But ovulation is also a key signal that the hormonal rhythm of the cycle is functioning. This is why simply having a period does not always tell the full story. Bleeding alone does not confirm that ovulation is happening consistently. Some women experience delayed ovulation, inconsistent ovulation, or cycles where ovulation does not occur. Cycle patterns can offer clues. Very long cycles, irregular cycles, missing periods, or significant variation month to month may suggest that ovulation is not happening regularly. This is not about diagnosing anything from a single cycle. Bodies are dynamic, but over time, your cycle can offer insight into how the brain, ovaries, and hormones are coordinating. Another factor to consider is hormonal signaling beyond the reproductive system. Thyroid function can influence cycle regularity and ovulation. Blood sugar regulation and insulin can also affect ovarian function, particularly in women with PCOS. PCOS is one of the most common causes of ovulatory disruption, and it often involves metabolic and hormonal factors that extend beyond the ovaries. So when fertility challenges arise, the question is not always just about age. The broader hormonal environment matters too. Birth control history can also play a role. Hormonal birth control works in different ways depending on the method. Some suppress ovulation, while others alter cervical mucus, uterine lining, or hormonal signaling. After stopping birth control, the body may need time to reestablish its own patterns. For some women, this happens quickly. For others, cycles may be irregular or underlying patterns that were previously masked become more noticeable. This is not about blaming birth control, but it does alter the hormonal rhythm of the cycle, and that transition period deserves more discussion. Stress is another factor that often gets overlooked. Ovulation requires adequate energy and resources. Chronic physiological stress from life demands, undereating, overtraining, poor sleep, or psychological strain can influence communication between the brain and ovaries. This does not mean stress is always the cause, but fertility is not just a reproductive conversation. It is a whole body conversation. Energy availability and nutrition also matter. If the body senses limited resources, reproduction may be dialed down. This can show up as irregular cycles or disrupted ovulation. This does not only apply to women who are underweight. Someone can appear fit and healthy while still being underfueled relative to her needs. Sleep is another foundational factor. Poor or disrupted sleep can influence hormonal signaling and overall cycle health. Because fertility depends on coordinated communication between systems, sleep quality matters. Lifestyle factors are important, but some conditions require medical evaluation. PCOS, thyroid dysfunction, endometriosis, insulin resistance, and other reproductive or metabolic issues may need a proper workup. These conditions are sometimes minimized, which is why it's important to have balanced conversations. Understanding these factors is not about self-diagnosing. It is about asking better questions and advocating for your health. Questions like, am I ovulating consistently? What does my cycle suggest? Could thyroid, insulin, or PCOS be involved? Could stress, sleep, or underfueling be affecting my cycle? Did stopping birth control reveal something that was already there? Fertility is often more complicated than people realize. Yes, age can be a part of the picture, but so can ovulation, hormones, stress, nutrition, sleep, birth control history, and underlying medical conditions. If this is something you are navigating, my hope is that this gives you a few helpful things to consider and discuss with a qualified professional. Because understanding your cycle, hormones, and overall health can help you ask better questions and make more informed decisions moving forward. If you found this helpful, I share more content like this on hormones, cycle health, and women's health. So make sure to subscribe and follow along. See you in the next one.